Hello and welcome back to the Gallagher Partnership Podcast. My name is John Neshis and I'm the Director of Partnership Marketing and Content Development here at Gallagher. And we are once again joined by Conor Daly, who drives the number 59 Gallagher Carlin Chevrolet in the IndyCar series for us. Question I have for you, Conor. You've been battling type 1 diabetes for most of your career now. Describe how you're able to handle that while staying at the top of your game.
Well, honestly, it was just something that I didn't really know much about when I got diagnosed. I was 14. I was in racing. I had just gone to my first racing school, which means going from go-karts to race cars. So I obviously, knew that it was going to be pretty difficult a few days in. I didn't know anything about diabetes, though. I didn't know what it was about, what I had to do. But, obviously I had to learn on the fly. I had to learn pretty quickly because I wasn't going to let it stop me racing. I think I was racing literally the next weekend out of the hospital because I just figured, look, these doctors told me the rules. This is what I'm supposed to do. This is how I'm supposed to keep my body alive. and I was going to do that because I wanted to live and I wanted to race cars and I wanted to be the best athlete that I could be. So it's very similar to racing. Every day I'm learning more and more about diabetes. Every day I'm learning more and more about my body. Every day I'm trying to, be the best diabetic I can be because I want to live a long life. And, every day I'm in a race car, I want to be a better driver. So I use pretty similar, mindsets when it comes to both. But is it challenging? Absolutely. I mean, it's definitely not the easiest thing in the world. But I don't necessarily, dwell on that. I don't necessarily voice it publicly. But yeah, I mean, it's a lot of work. It's all about preparation. It's all about, being very strict with how you're eating on race weekends, most importantly, and what you're doing to control, your blood sugars. So there's a lot there. There's a lot that makes life more challenging. But if life was easy, I mean, it just wouldn't feel right. You always got to have, challenges in front of you. You've always got I always feel much better when I'm accomplishing things and doing things that I know are difficult. And, living with diabetes is one of them, but I know I can do it.
Yeah. And I know that you've actually been quite the advocate for diabetes in the past. Your next question, by its nature, racing places so much attention on the driver that it's really easy to forget that it really is a team sport. Tell me a little bit about the importance of your team in preparing for success in the number 59 Gallagher Chevrolet.
Oh, you said it right there. It's racing is a team sport. It's everyone is doing an important job. It's challenging from unloading the truck to putting everything back in by the end of the weekend. I mean, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of people working. You've got your pit crew, which are supremely essential. And our pit crew did a great job for us, at Texas at the first race. I mean, we had more frequent of a pit stop strategy than normal because of how the rules worked out with the tires. So the guys were out there in pit lane quite a lot and very frequently. In supremely hot conditions. So, everyone has to be, an athlete and ready to go and ready to deliver every time, I come into the pit. So it's something to where you got to wrap those guys and girls around you. You got to make sure everyone, is fighting for the same goal here, and that's to win races and be successful. And I love that. I love the team aspect of it. I think, we're all going into battle together. I mean, this is something that it's not just me. I always say we. I've always, ever since I was young, I never say I do anything. I say we because it's always a team effort. And people always ask, well, hang on, you just said we. Who are you with? I was like, well, I'm not with anyone, but I just say we because usually, I'm with the team and my guys and everyone, everyone's together working towards being successful. So I love that part about racing, and I've met some incredible people, throughout my career that have been part of my team or teams that I've driven for, that will be friends for a very long time.
Yeah, it's so interesting because it really is a team sport. And again, so much attention might get put on the driver, but without everybody working in synergy during pit stops, refueled and changing out the tires and everything else, it doesn't work. It simply doesn't work. So kudos to your team, the number 59 Gallagher Chevrolet team, and we're looking forward to hopefully some more good results as the season unfolds. But before I let you go, I do have one last question. And as a company at Gallagher, we pride ourselves on providing confidence for our clients every step of their business journey. Describe the role confidence plays for you as you live the life of an IndyCar driver.
Well, I think you got to be confident in yourself. You got to be confident in your team around you. I mean, especially in a season that we've got going this year, where testing and practice is more limited than normal. We showed up at Texas, and we had one practice session to get used to things. And, I'm going out there lap one, trusting that all these guys, they put the car together, ready to rock and roll, which they did. They put together a very fast car, which immediately gives you confidence. As soon as I leave the pits, I can tell whether or not I'll be confident in what the race car is going to give me. And then they were able to give that to me. So that immediately, makes me a much happier driver and a much more confident driver to do things with the car that I want to do. To be aggressive, to make the moves that we could make. There's a lot when it comes to being confident in the track grip, being confident in the tire grip, being confident in what is this next setup change going to do. We're going to try something. Well, I hope it works, but you got to be confident enough to go out there and be like, well, if it doesn't work, that's okay, because we can make another change, and that could potentially be, even better. So you just got to be confident in everything you do in racing, because, it's just, if you have a weak mind, or if you're not that confident in yourself, going out there and battling against a bunch of other guys who are, you're not going to be in a good spot. So everyone out there is confident. Everyone out there is wanting to, beat you every weekend. And so you got to be confident that you can do the same to them. And that's why it's such a competitive sport.
Yeah, for sure. And, that's all I've got for today, Conor. I want to thank you so much for participating in the Gallagher Partnership Podcast. Best of luck with the rest of the season. We'll be watching and rooting you on. And take it easy. And again, best of luck to you and the number 59 Gallagher Chevrolet team.
I appreciate everyone's support. It's a beautiful car to drive. It's incredible to represent for Gallagher. And, I can't wait to keep this season rolling.